I found fatigue maybe the hardest symptom to accept was a mind-body symptom, that my brain was making this. I could understand the chronic pain, I could understand the heart rate, but I really struggled to understand how fatigue was a mind-body symptom because I just felt tired, and I'm so wired in my thinking, in my neural pathways, that tired means I need rest, that I found this was maybe my last symptom that I really had to work with to be able to go, oh, okay, I accept that this is a neuroplastic symptom. And the reason that the brain gives us fatigue, and the reason it's so believable, is because we do equate tiredness with the need to rest. So it's a fantastic symptom to give us. It's a fantastic sensation to give us, to make us go, lie down, stop. We're not safe out there. Because we believe so wholeheartedly that we have to rest. And the reason this happens is due to something in the brain called predictive processing. Our brains are super duper efficient, and they like to run on the path of least resistance. They build a huge amount of information from the things that we've done before, from the places we've been, from how we've responded, and it pulls on that information in order to tell us how we're feeling. So the reason that this is happening specifically when we get something like long COVID is because of the sickness program. So when we get a virus, one of the symptoms that we get, and the body needs to do this to shut us down in order to be able, so that the brain can get to work on sending out all the healing systems, is that fatigue moment. And it's a really important part of being ill, because we recognize that we have to stay still so that actually we can be busy doing lots of different things in order to get better. So the brain has predicted that we need to assign energy to healing. So it gives us fatigue. Obviously, what happens is that neural pathway of going, oh, I need energy to heal, stays running. So it keeps predicting that we are going to need more energy than we actually do to go about our day, which is why we get the feelings of fatigue, because it's the predictive processing. It's the part of our brain that is forward thinking and forward planning how much energy is needed. And that's why we get that sensation, and that's why we get that feeling, because our brain thinks that we need far more energy than we actually do to heal, because actually our system is already healed. But because our fear response is turned up so high, it keeps thinking that there is something wrong. So it keeps thinking we need all of this energy to keep healing. So it will stop giving us sensations of feeling super good and super alive, and will keep giving us the sensations of tiredness, more than tiredness. Fatigue is way more than tiredness. It's heavy and, oh my gosh, like chains and elephants and everything just sitting on you so you can't physically move. I get that, don't worry. But the brain thinks that it needs to give us those sensations because it's predicted that we need more energy than we actually do to do a thing that it doesn't need to do anymore. So we have to turn down that fear dial so that we can show our nervous system, our autonomic nervous system, that actually we don't need the energy in that direction anymore. And as I said, for me, the hardest one, sensation and symptom to work with, because it was firstly the hardest one for me to believe, but secondly, the hardest one to convince my brain that I didn't need, because I was still responding with fear. So get yourself comfortable, and we're going to do some exercises to firstly feel safe, because this comes in 3 steps. We have to feel safe with our sensations. We have to be able to accept our sensations calmly, and in order to be able to do the action, to be able to go, okay, I recognize you, and start talking to it as a separate entity rather than reacting to it. So we want to respond rather than react, okay? So we're going to do some exercises now that will help us find safety, accept what's happening calmly, no fear, and then be able to do the action where we can respond, to start retraining our brains that we don't need that sensation anymore. To land in safety, one of the exercises we can do is called the colour hunt. So this is just about changing focus from panicking about what's happening and the sensations and the things that we're feeling, to recognizing that there's no tiger eating us, that the chair's not trying to destroy us, that our bed isn't devouring us, that actually we are safe in this moment. So the colour hunt can be a really, really nice way to do this. And this is really, really straightforward. Okay, ready? We don't have to shut our eyes for this. We can take a breath if we want to. Long, slow exhale. And as long as your exhale is longer than your inhale, that's all we need to do. So that's obviously a really nice bottom-up grounding approach. Do as many of those as you need, as long as you need. So the colour hunt. The first thing we're going to do is find 5 things that are blue. Look around your space. I've got a blue shirt. I've got a blue cushion. I've got a blue water bottle. I've got another blue shirt behind me and a blue flag. Now we're going to do 4 things that are round. Now I'm going to look around my room for this one, and I can see a round cup, and I can see a round circle on my cushion over there. I can see a round plant pot. I can see a round lamp, and I can see a round circle on my phone. There's no rush for this either. The longer you take doing this, the calmer you will become. So now I'm going to try and find 3 things that feel smooth. So my lovely water bottle, that's nice and smooth. I've got a shiny smooth button. And I've got my smooth glasses just here. And really pay attention to that sensation on your fingers, because that's what this is about. So now I'm going to try and find 2 things I never noticed in this room before. And that's tricky for me, because I notice this is one of my joyful things that I do. So I've just noticed a little spot of paint that definitely wasn't there before, because I'm a messy painter, and I think that must have happened today. And the other thing I've noticed is the light in my tea on my table, just reflecting, because that's not something that's here every day. And then the one thing, name one thing in this room that makes you smile. So my picture up on the wall here, which was a gift from my husband, and it's by a photographer, my favourite photographer, Annie Leibovitz, and it's got one of my favourite people in the world in Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore. So every time I see that picture, it makes me smile, firstly because it's a really silly picture, but also because it was given to me with love. So there we go. I've shifted my focus. I've come into the room. I've not rushed it, because rushing is the opposite that we want to do, because what we're trying to do is go, oh, actually, yeah. And we don't have to feel better or completely safe, but actually if we've notched it down and we've realised, and we can take that moment to say, I am safe in this space. I've distracted myself from the symptoms, and actually it's all going to be okay. That's what we're looking for. Well done. If we can feel safe, then we can start to meet our sensations safely. So we're going to gently say hello. So safety, acceptance, action. And if at any point through this, it's a little short visualization, we're going to look inwards, you feel like you need to come out, it's fine. You can look at the screen, you can just listen, you can turn it off and walk away. Because the important thing here is that you know you're okay. So you work to your limit. What I will say is, if you feel like you can't do it right now, come back, revisit until you can get to the next step and the next step, because this is about practice. So the more we practice teaching our brains that we're safe, we can then start to teach our brains that we're able to accept what's happening safely. And then we can teach our brains that we're okay to try and challenge those thoughts and create an action related to those things, okay? So we're going to meet our sensations with calmness and kindness. Get comfy. Hand on heart. Long exhale. Just drop your head, close your eyes. You are in charge. You can stop at any point. Okay? Breathe in. Long, slow exhale. Drop those shoulders. Release that jaw. Last one, breathe in. And a long, slow exhale. Just relax your hips, loosen your toes, unclench your hands. So remember, you're in charge and you don't have to find the sensations, you don't have to change it, and you don't have to complete all 3 steps if you don't want to. So step 1, as we sit here quietly and peacefully, we're just going to ground into some safety. And I'd like you to say out loud, I am here. Now feel support underneath you. Just notice your feet on the floor maybe, or your heels on the bed. Notice the pressure underneath your bottom or your back. You can place one hand somewhere comforting, so if not your chest, maybe your belly. And just take gentle breaths in and slow breaths out. And just notice, I am here. I am supported. And in this moment right now, while I'm sat here with Katie, I am safe enough. I am safe enough. Just let that feeling of safety, even if it's a teeny weeny bit, just notice it. Let's take one more big breath in and a long, slow exhale. Just let go of any of those worries, anything you don't need right now. Because right now, in this moment, I am safe enough. Now, if we feel safe and you don't want to move on and you just want to sit in this feeling, that is absolutely fine. If you feel safe enough now, we can move on to acceptance. So if you feel like you can accept where you are right now and everything that's going on in your body, I want you to say out loud, I can be with this. I can be with this. I am safe enough to be with this. Continue if you'd like to. So what we're going to do is just bring some gentle attention towards the body. We're just going to look inwards for a second. And you can come out at any time by opening your eyes. And you might notice some fatigue. You might notice heaviness, or pain maybe, or tightness. Maybe you've got sore eyes. Maybe you can notice how warm you are. Maybe you've got tingling or fizzy sensations. Or maybe, perhaps there's nothing in particular. Whatever you notice, you don't have to fix it right now. You can bring your kindest voice, the tone of voice you'd use to speak to a frightened child or a lost puppy. And if you can't get to your own version of that voice, invite someone in who does. Invite in Ted Lasso, invite in Mary Poppins, invite in Mr. Rogers, somebody that you trust their voice. And you're going to breathe in gentleness. We're just going to breathe out your worries. And in that loving, supportive tone, we're just going to say, I notice this. And if you can say it out loud, that would be amazing, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And we're going to say, I don't have to make it go away. I don't have to fight myself anymore. My body is doing its best. I can be kind to myself right now. I've got this. And take a breath. We don't have to change anything. We're just accepting right now that it's there. We just need to let the sensations be there without needing to solve it. And if you've made it to this step, that's incredible. And if you want to just sit here, noticing that you can accept yourself exactly as you are, you can sit here. And if you want to, we can move on to action and we can just get a bit curious. So only continue if it feels comfortable. So, you can say out loud, let's get curious. And if you want to, you can invite your favourite inner explorer to the party. Bring in your own David Attenborough, because we're just going to notice the sensations. So choose one of your sensations right now. Maybe it's the heaviness that comes with fatigue, and it's okay if it's bigger than your body. We're just going to draw a gentle line around the outside. And if you're imagining it's bigger than the world, draw a line that's bigger than the world. And if actually it's just a tiny little moment behind your eyes, draw that tiny moment behind your eyes. Now, what colour would it be? Is it blue? Is it red? Is it grey and cloudy? Is it yellow and spiky? Is it purple and sludgy? Just notice, what shape is it? What size is it? Does it have sharp edges, or does it fade and move all of the time? Does it have a weight to it? Does it have a texture to it? We just observe it now like a curious scientist and ask, what happens when I simply notice? Can you say that out loud for me? What happens when I simply notice? And as we sit and notice, does it stay the same? Does it change or move? Maybe it grows or shrinks. Maybe it disappears. There's no right answer. You're not trying to get rid of the sensation. You're teaching your brain that you can experience the sensation without immediately going into protection. So we're going to take one final gentle breath. And we're going to say out loud, thank you. Thank you, me, for sitting with this. Thank you, me, for holding space. We're going to feel the support beneath you. You're just going to bat your eyelids open and look around the room. And you're going to remind yourself, I can notice my body without being afraid of sensations. Well done. You've done it. Safety, acceptance, action. One way we can think about predictive processing is imagining that that part of the brain is a really overprotective mother, a smother, if you will. So your smother is internally, continually scanning for danger and for worry. So, movement, careful, you might make this worse, or your racing heart, oh my God, something's wrong, or breathlessness, stop, we need more air. Everything, she's panicking to every single response. And apparently my smother is very high and a little bit over fraught. And your smother can sound whatever you like, because it's not your real mum. This is a made up version. But the thing to remember with your smother is that if she thinks that when we're resting, she'll be going, we're too unwell to move, we can't do anything, we must stay still. And actually, this is one of the things that we need to gently start challenging. And we can meet our smother, because your smother doesn't realise that part of your brain that's predictive processing cannot distinguish between what is uncomfortable and what is dangerous. So it starts to, or it equates discomfort to danger. And we need to teach our smother that those two things are not the same thing. We are okay to be uncomfortable, because actually we can be okay and be uncomfortable at the same time. And that does not mean that we are in danger. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet our smother, and we're going to use that safety acceptance action rule. So stop whenever you need. And we're just going to actually start to talk to the part of our brain that is predicting that we can't do anything because it's not safe. Okay, so get comfy in your seat, or lie down if you want to. And we're going to do that long, slow inhale and exhale. Close your eyes or drop your head and just look down gently. And we're going to do a guided visualization where we get to meet the smother. So we're going to meet a very special member of your nervous system family today. And she loves you more than anything. And her whole goal is keeping you safe. Unfortunately, she's a drama queen, and she is our smother. So now we've got our eyes closed and we understand who we're meeting. It's not somebody we have to be afraid of. Somebody who loves us, but it's just a bit highly strung. We're going to feel the chair or the bed. Make sure that you know you're in somewhere safe. There's nothing to change. You're going to breathe in. A long, slow exhale. Just relax that jaw and the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Drop those shoulders. Another breath. Just feel your feet. And there's no need to change anything. We're simply going to imagine. We know we are safe. Now that we know we're safe, we are going to picture our smother. Firstly, what does she look like? Maybe she's sitting beside you. Maybe she's fussing with your clothes. She might be in your kitchen making you a cup of tea, maybe. Or she's folding blankets. Maybe she's already asking you, are you sure you're okay? Let her appear however she appears. And you don't have to make her funny. And you don't have to make her frightening either. You just get to notice her. Maybe at this point, she's just an idea. She's some shapes and some colours and a tone. That's okay as well. Because what we really need to do is notice what she's worrying about. So in your mind, I want you to turn to your smother and just say, I'm going to do something today. Maybe it's going outside, moving your body more than it was yesterday. Maybe it's having a conversation with someone, or going somewhere you've avoided, doing something you enjoy. Smother, I'm going to do something today. We're going to listen to what she says. And it might be in words or it might be in feelings. And perhaps she says, absolutely not. What if you get tired? What if your symptoms get worse? Remember what happened last time. You really should stay home. Let's just rest today. And don't argue with her, just listen. Just listen to her worries and listen to her fears. Now you can ask her one question. Smother, what are you afraid might happen? And wait. What are you afraid might happen? And let the answer come. And maybe it'll be in words and maybe it'll be in feelings. Maybe she's saying, you'll crash. You'll be exhausted. Something will happen to your heart. We won't cope. You'll make yourself worse. Whatever comes up, just notice it. We don't need to react. Now we can ask, where did you learn that? And this is a really important neuroplastic moment. Don't force the answer. Maybe she remembers a time you pushed yourself and felt awful. Maybe she remembers a frightening symptom. Maybe a difficult experience. Maybe months of being unwell. Maybe she simply says, I don't know, I'm just trying to protect you. And that's okay too. You don't have to have the answers. We just have to know that she's afraid and it came from somewhere. Now we're going to turn towards our smother and look at her and say, I know you're trying to protect me. You've been working really hard. Thank you. And just pause and let this land. She loves you so much. She doesn't hate you. She is you. Thank you for trying to protect me. And now we say, but smother, lovely me, feeling something doesn't always mean I'm in danger. You don't have to make the decision yet. Let's just notice what is actually happening. And we can bring in that David Attenborough, that scientific part of us that says, we're not going to panic about this creature, about this smother, about this part of us. We're going to observe it. Because she's going to worry, and every thought has a feeling, and every feeling has a sensation. And we're just going to notice them. So we're going to bring those attention gently into our body and meet those sensations that she's sending us. Maybe the fatigue, maybe the heaviness, maybe tightness in the shoulders. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe there's a new sensation. Anything is okay. And instead of what does this mean, we're going to ask, what is actually here? Where is it? What's its shape? What's its weight? What's its temperature? How big is it? And if we don't need to decide what this means, the mother might say, but what if it means something? What if this is important? What if I've missed something? And we can tell her, you can stay, you can worry, you don't have to disappear, but I'm going to stay curious because I know that I am safe. Now, imagine the thing you were considering doing. Having that conversation, moving your body more. Not pushing, not proving anything, not forcing yourself. Just imagining one tiny, appropriate step. And notice Smother. Maybe she gets louder. Maybe she says, "Are you sure?" And you say, "I'm listening, and I'll respond to what my body actually needs." We don't have to predict the future. I'm safe to do this. I've got this. And finally, we can imagine Smother just sitting back down. And maybe she's made the cup of tea and sits down. Maybe she gives you the blanket. And maybe she's still worried, but she's watching and nothing terrible has happened. You've just given your brain a new experience. And that new experience is another sprinkle in our lovely safety donut. And now we're safe that we've met our Smother. You can hug her if you want. You can just walk away if you want. It's all imaginary, which is wonderful. But it still has power. We're going to bring our attention back to our feet. We're going to just listen to the sounds around us. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Just met the part of our brain that worries. And we just responded to that part of our brain with us, with the calm, in control version of us that we always have been. And the more we do that, the more we practice observing our symptoms, the more we practice recognizing that actually there is going to be a part of our brain that's trying to keep us safe because that's its job. We choose how to respond to that. We don't have to react anymore. We can choose to respond. So maybe you've got a Smother, but maybe it can be any version of a part of you that works. It can be a crazy celebrity, or it can just be you, or it can be a big amorphous blob. Whatever version that is okay. Because actually what we're learning is that we're all right to respond to ourselves, whatever that looks like. So for a lot of us, meeting our symptoms safely, doing anything, can feel a bit overwhelming. So this is a really great little somatic practice, physical practice, body up practice that we can use to just calm that vagus nerve, reduce our heart rate, bring our energy down. So what we're going to do, this is the oculocardiac reflex, but I call it aye captain because I'm not very good at saying that a lot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make our hands warm. So we're going to rub our hands together so our palms are warm. And then we're just going to press them over our eyes like this. I'm just going to hold them there. So it's a really gentle pressure. I'm just going to sit and breathe for a minute with that gentle pressure on our eyes. You can do this with a warm towel. But actually all we're doing is we are showing and stimulating the vagus nerve in a way that allows us to relax and calm down. And hopefully you're starting to feel your shoulders drop a bit. You might swallow or sigh or yawn. There's my big loud exhale. And that means turn the dial up on my parasympathetic nervous system. It's going to lift them up with my eyes shut. and then bat my eyelashes open. There we go. A lovely, quick, calming oculocardiac reflex exercise. Hope you're okay.